Trump takes action on the Iranian crisis by sending the USS Abraham Lincoln and several destroyers over to the region. And an Iranian-American woman reveals what's really happening over there. Stick around. You don't want to miss this.
Turn it up loud. This is Freedom Talk.
Yes, welcome back to Freedom Talk. I'm your Freedom Talker, Steve. Is there any Freedom Talkers out there? Hey, this is a brand new channel. Can't do it alone. I need your help. So give me a share, like, share, and subscribe. Now, let's get into it. Yes, Trump has sent out the USS Abraham Lincoln and several destroyers over to the region and in order to detour Iran and stop the regime from murdering its own people. If you remember back into December of 25, there was an uprising there. The people had enough. They were tired of the Iranian dictatorship and them killing their own people. And since that time, they killed several, if not tens of thousands of people in the streets. There's body bags in the streets, and it's just a terrible thing. So anyway, let's get into it. Trump sent out a tweet and he put out there a massive armada is heading to Iran. It is moving quickly with great power, enthusiasm, and purpose. It is a larger fleet headed by the great aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln than that sent to Venezuela. Remember when they took care of business in Venezuela? He had to put that out there to just tell the regime, hey, remember what happened? It could happen to you too. It's ready, willing, and able to rapidly fulfill its mission with speed and violence if necessary. Hopefully, Iran will quickly come to the table and negotiate fair and equitable deal. No nuclear weapons. That is good for all parties. Time is running out. Truly of the essence. I told Iran once before, make a deal. They didn't, and there was Operation Midnight Hammer, which was amazing how efficient that was. And a major destruction of Iran, the next attack will be far worse. Don't make that happen again. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So yes, he's not messing around. FAFO. Anyways, let's jump into Fox News over here and let's see what they had to say over here.
Well, Sandra, President Trump is now giving a dire warning to Iranian leadership, writing on Truth Social this morning that a massive armada is heading towards Iran and is ready to, quote, fulfill its mission with speed and violence if necessary. Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin is tracking the latest for us on this. And Jennifer, it sounds like Iranian leaders are now responding with their own warning. What can you tell us?
That's right, Bill. In fact, the rhetoric is getting increasingly heated from the leaders in Iran. We have a statement from one of those leaders in which he said that any U.S. strike would be met with an immediate response, unprecedented, he described. We also heard from Iran's foreign minister that the armed forces in Iran have their fingers on the trigger, and the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei himself said that any illusion that any U.S. strikes would be limited is an illusion at that. The president, however, is deploying a clear carrot and stick strategy toward Iran. The USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier strike group is now in CENTCOM control with its 3 guided missile destroyers and dozens of combat aircraft, including stealth F-35 fighter jets and F-18 fighter jets, and literally awesome. Hundreds of Tomahawk cruise missiles capable of reaching Iranian targets. President Trump also offering an olive branch.
There's another beautiful armada floating beautifully toward Iran right now. So we'll see. I hope they make a deal. I hope they make a deal. They should have made a deal the first time they'd have a country.
The protests may have ebbed, but they will spark up again in the future because this regime, unless they are willing to change and or leave, have no way of addressing the legitimate and consistent complaints of the people of Iran who deserve better.
And they don't want to either.
Air Force is running regional military exercises this week to signal readiness. Officials see a real chance President Trump acts, but an equal chance Iran blinks.
He's setting the theater in a way that gives him lots of options in the near term and probably even for a little bit of a longer runway looking out into the future. So if tomorrow or a week from now or a month from now there were a strike on Iran by the United States or in concert with others, I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
I think if you are the Ayatollah and you look at the military buildup in the region, he has to wonder whether he will suffer the same fate as Maduro or something worse if he doesn't come to the negotiating table.
Iran's ambassador to the UN responded. Last time the U.S. blundered into wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, it squandered over $7 trillion and lost more than 7,000 American lives. Iran stands ready for dialogue based on mutual respect and interest, but if pushed, it will defend itself and respond like never before. Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, Bill said publicly it would not let anyone use its bases to attack Iran. Bill?
Yeah, at this point, Iran has to know.
And that's okay. We don't need them. Yeah, the Iranian threats, they're really not that much. But as we look into this, you can see where this is where our ships are, right over here. And they're right over here on the outside, and we can get in there. Saudi Arabia's over there. We probably still have some stuff going on in Iraq, and I know we have about 60,000 troops that's in that area over there right now. So we're ready to do whatever it takes. But the main reason why we're all over here is just because of the senseless killing of the Iranian people. And we can't forget, what has happened in Iran. And it was a protest that turned into an uprising since December. The people were hungry. Economic situations over there real bad, and they don't want the Ayatollah Khomeini anymore. As I guess Gen Zers are just showing they don't have the headdress on, and they just want to have a more West society like it was back in 1979 with Reza Pahlavi, and his father Muhammad was just a truly good Iranian leader. And this is when they shut out all the power over here in Iran. They blacked it out, and the Iranian people just held up their phones and held lights, just in solidarity. And then also too, the Iranian people, they're only turning on the internet for brief moments so they can trap their people in sending out messages to the outside world, and they can track them and later on kill them. But this is over here in the streets. This is horrible. And just body bags everywhere. And just the people, there's just body bags everywhere. The morgues are full. Just senseless killing of all the people just because the regime wants to hold and can hold on to their power. And that's horrible. So something needs to be done about this. And if President Trump can detour a lot of this, and I know he sent out a lot of ships over there, but he has a FAFO type attitude. And I hope that the regime will take that. I know they don't want to lose their seats, but they're going to lose them one way or another, either through the people or by some other selective measures. But I would like to share with you and also too, some good news that happened today too. And today, the Senate committee advanced the bill to block U.S. tax dollars to the Taliban. In a nutshell, it was Republican Tim Burchett. He put this bill out there. It was passed by the House last year, and now it just passed today. And what it does is stops all the NGOs from sending out money, laundered money over to the Afghanistan and other Taliban agencies, totaling $21 billion. Wow. Let's put that money to good use. Anyways, getting back over here, this one lady, she's a American Iranian, and her 95% of her family is over there in the Middle East right now. So it's really important to take a couple minutes and listen to what she has to say.
I finally had the chance to FaceTime with my cousin in Iran, and she asked me to share this message with the world, especially you, diaspora, so please listen to the full video. For those who don't know, 95% of my family still lives in Iran. My mother's side is Mashhadi. She told me this, that every single person she knows has lost someone close to them. In Mashhad, bodies were piled in the streets, wrapped like black garbage bags, the way trash lines city sidewalks in New York. She said her mother's apartment building had bodies reaching all the way up to her doorstep. Someone we know was shot multiple times in the leg. He couldn't go to the hospital to seek medical help. People are terrified to go because they're killing them. So their family pooled nearly $2,000 to pay for a private doctor to come to their house so he wouldn't lose his leg. Most people can't even afford that. They're afraid to go seek help, they're getting infections, and they're slowly dying in their homes. Phone lines, as we know, are being monitored. So families are writing messages on paper and holding them up to the camera when they can FaceTime. She said the internet is turned on briefly as an act of surveillance to track and hunt protesters. She says what's happening is just unimaginable. People are being killed so easily. My mother also spoke to a female family member of ours in Tehran today, and she said, we're fine, but we're all beaten. They beat the shit out of all of us. That viral video of a woman being kicked in the head that's been going around, that's just one leaked clip of what's happening every single day. Most stores are closed except for basic necessities. Prices were already inflated. She says they've tripled in the last 2 weeks. Many Gen Z Iranians rely on online businesses, importing and exporting goods from Turkey and Dubai. She says no one's been able to make money this year. People have nothing left. And despite all of this grief, despite all of this, she said something else to me. She said, don't cry. Negaran nabash. Don't worry. Omidvar bash. Don't lose hope. She said hope, omid, is all we have left. And if the diaspora gives up hope, cosmically it's putting negative energy and darkness into the world. She said people want intervention because without it we will die. We are watching a real life Handmaid's Tale. The numbers coming out daily keep increasing in the tens of thousands who have been murdered. This is devastating. This is a massacre. And if this becomes normalized in Iran, if we look away, it won't stop there. It will spread. So please keep speaking up. Please keep putting pressure on world leaders to act now. She said, Aziz kheli az dast dadim. We've lost a lot of loved ones, and the only way they will ever find peace in their hearts again is if this regime is gone. And she also said this too. When they do manage to get a few moments online and they see all of your messages and voices, they feel less lonely. And that gives them hope.
Hope's a good thing. We got to remember these people in our prayers. We got it easy over here in America. You know, we have some crazy stuff going on in Minnesota, but nothing compares to what these people have been suffering in Iran. We have to keep them in our prayers, and we have to pray that we get this guy back in power. This was him back in there you go. And this is Reza Pahlavi. And this was him when his father was in power. And he was a boy then. He was a crown prince to Iran. And when his father was in power, they had a lot of, it was amazing, Iran back then. Lost it to the Muslim movement with the weak leadership of Jimmy Carter. Thank you very much. And this is him today. And the Iranian people, they want to see him back in power. And if he does get back in there and leads that country, it would be a really amazing Iran. I would believe they would actually get along with Israel with him in power. And there'll be peace in the region. So let's pray for that. That would happen. And pray for the people that would happen. Pray for President Trump that he would make wise decisions and that a peaceful solution would come around. Anyways, so there's a lot going on around the world. Let's keep these people in our prayers. Make sure you hit that subscribe, like button. And if you are here to the end, please leave a comment. And that truly helps. And then not only that, I'd like to know what you think about the channel. So leave your opinions down there. Your opinion matters. Thank you much and have a blessed day.